Hey guys, welcome to my channel. We are nearing the end of March, and here in southwestern Ontario, what that means is crappie season's coming. So right now I'm out driving around. As you can see, I'm down by the river. I am out checking the creeks because that's where they all come into the shallows, and the water looks green. Have a look.
Real bad boy. I've got a ton of gravel in my shoes,
and the water's looking pretty green. Now for here in southwestern Ontario, that's common, that's normal, and all the creeks are clean. I was just over checking out the pond that I normally fish in. I take my daughter fishing in. It's down about 4 feet, so it's been pumped out. Hopefully it builds back up before bass season opens. So the way it runs here is, right now you can fish for crappie. They'll be coming in shortly. Then we head out on Lake St. Clair for some walleye. We'll be trolling out there probably in another month. So I think it's the 3rd or 4th Saturday in June that bass season opens here. So then we're going to be hitting those pretty hard as well. Now, word of caution, you're not allowed to fish for bass out of season intentionally. I think I mentioned in another video that you're not even allowed to take a photograph of those fish. I still have not found out the answer to whether that's true or not, but I'm still working on that. This is one of the creeks that, sorry about that, I've had in the videos in the past. A really good bass creek. And in a couple weeks, the crappie are going to be in here too.
real bad boy.
So as you can see for here, that water's pretty clean. We're right now sitting about 5 degrees, so that's still pretty cold, and that's Celsius. I don't have the smarts to figure it out off the top of my head what Fahrenheit is, but it's still rather chilly. Nevertheless, the crappie should be in here in a couple of weeks. And in summertime, actually, the bass are up here spawning right now. They'll be in there for a while. When bass season opens, they're not as plentiful in here, but they still hang around in here as well. Should be noted, it's probably about, I'm going to say 35 feet across this creek and about 3 feet deep in the middle. It runs for about 400 meters right off of the Thames River, but it has a dead end. Now that dead end is just full of garbage, so I don't normally fish there. Alright guys, here's where the creek ends. As you can see, all the garbage in there. 300 or 400 meters up the road is where the mouth is, where it meets the Thames. So probably some fish in there. I haven't given it a shot yet. Maybe we'll do that when bass season opens. We'll see if anything's living up under those logs and trash and garbage. And pick up after yourselves, people. Not going off onto a tyrant here, just pick up after yourself. Alright guys, at another favorite spot of mine, you can see that small creek there. That creek was prominently made its way into quite a few videos last year of mine where I wasn't catching any fish. One thing you'll know about my channel is I like to keep it real. If I go fishing and catch nothing, you'll see that I catch nothing. It's not every day that I go out fishing and I catch trophies and a ton of fish. So if I get skunked out, I show you, because that's how real it is. Now this particular creek, that one there, I caught a nice largemouth in there on a topwater frog last year without the camera going. Now what started me fishing in here was the pond that I fish in is a standalone pond, but it's got a nice creek that runs alongside it. I just threw a frog in there one day and caught a bass, nice 3-pound largemouth. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. Don't these people ringing my phone while I'm trying to record a video here? Anyway, I was just so surprised that there was fish in there that I could catch, let alone a largemouth bass. So anyways, I fished a little more, caught a couple more. I'm not sure if I got that on video or not, but that got me wondering, what about the rest of the creeks? I came here, didn't turn the camera on, caught a largemouth, and ever since then I've been fishing this spot here and haven't caught a thing. So this year I'm going to redeem myself, and I'm going to make a promise that I'm going to catch a fish out of this creek. Now this creek probably runs for anywhere between 30 and 50 miles in either direction. So there's all kinds of places to fish, but I never see anybody fish them. So in your area where you got small creeks, give it a shot. You never know what's going to be in there. Alright guys, I'm at the road that runs alongside the pond. I intentionally don't show the route to this pond, only because it's a private pond, it's not public. I don't mind showing the creeks because that's all public water, but This guy doesn't want a bunch of people knocking on his door asking if they can fish or hunt his land. He's graciously allowed my family and I to fish and hunt here, and I appreciate it very much. So I don't want to bring any undue attention to this particular area. So I'm going to step out for a second here. Please excuse the wind. I don't have my windsock on. And I'll just take a quick video of the pond. You can see the levels are pretty down.
Down in the dirt.
As I hope you can see, the water level is way down there. This particular spot here, you see that blue tin right there? It actually goes out into the water and overhangs probably by about 3 feet. So there's a nice little shelf underneath there. That's where I caught that bass on that frog. And this particular creek right here runs all the way along the roadway, all the way down there. And that's also part of the creek way back there. So like I said, it runs for miles and miles and miles. And this is where I first caught that bass out of. And I thought to myself, you got to be kidding me. There's actually bass in here. And I've been obsessed with fishing the creek ever since. So like I said, if you go back in my archives, you'll see the videos of me fishing the creek and catching nothing. I got frustrated and actually made a personal challenge of going back there almost every day, because it's only a few minutes from my house. So it's just a matter of me driving 3 or 4 minutes, grab my rod out of the back and throwing it out and see what happens. But it bit me, got me excited, got me coming back, and she let me down. Such is life. We're going to head home now, get the crappie rig set up. I'll show you all that, and I'll show you what I'm throwing. Alright guys, back at home now. Like I said, the creeks are green here, which for here is clean. As long as you don't get any major rain and we get a little warmer temperatures, the crappie are going to start moving into the shallows. Now I do most of my crappie fishing from shore. I do have a boat, as you know, but there's so many places to crappie fish from shore that I don't need to take the boat. I'm always fishing in anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6 feet of water. Usually never more than that. And what I'm going to show you now is my setup. Now this is a Abu Garcia rod and reel. 6/8. It's got a medium backbone with a very flexible tip. Now this is not your ideal crappie rod. Ideally, you want 8 foot or better, only because you get the nice whipping action to get it out there. I'm not throwing it any more than 20-25 feet from shore, so I don't really need to get it out there. The other thing that you really want to use is light line. Now, because I'm fishing some pretty clean water, obviously I'm using mono, but it's got to be light. I'm not a very line specific kind of guy. This particular line here, this is Stren. Everybody knows who Stren is. This is 8 pound. This might be a little much. I usually always use 6 pound or 4 pound. I went to 3 different places and I could only find 8. So I'm going to put 8 on it to see what happens. But if I'm not getting anywhere, I'm going to have to change it to a 6 or a 4 as soon as I can find some. What I'm usually throwing, now what's tipped on here right now, and this is last year's, I haven't changed it yet. This is just a 1/4 ounce jig head with a small white twister tail. Work fine. Sometimes you can tip that with a minnow. But what they really like is the bullet head. That's an 1/8 ounce. Really small hook. I'm not sure if you can see that hook, but really small. This one here is chartreuse, obviously. I'm not big on chartreuse. So a lot of times what I'll do is I will take the skirt off of this, tip it with a small minnow. Usually the bobber is only 2 feet to 3 feet from the bait. Throw it out there and just jig it back in. And that's all you have to do. But they seem to go with the live bait better with a small bullet head. So like I said, within the next couple of weeks, if everything goes well, we'll be out there trying to catch some crappie, and hopefully we bring you some video of that. Just like I said, I just wanted to go out and check the creeks and see what they're like. And they're clean, they look pretty good. As long as it stays that way for the next few weeks, we'll be all set. So I do appreciate y'all sticking around, watching my videos, and my sub count is getting way up there, and I appreciate it very much. And that's all I got for today. And as always, don't forget to enjoy the outdoors. Later. Hope you enjoyed that short little video on my crappie setup. Sounds good, eh? Crappie setup. You all know what I'm talking about. That's my crappie setup.